our train to Machu Picchu. Boy, they sure did cut this close, didn't they?
Don't open the emergency window during the ride. For free tickets, oxygen and activity are located in the catering service area. Due to government regulation is beginning to prohibit the inside of the coach. The restroom is located at the back of the coach and may only be used when the train is in motion. To avoid accident, don't pull your hands or head out of the window. Thank you for your attention and have a nice journey.
jungle portion of the trip. Okay, we're at the train stop at Machu Picchu, and next stop will be the city in the sky. And the girls again have found a shopping center while we're waiting to be taken to the ruins. Where'd Mickey go?
She's shopping? What do you think? He said the way.
Okay, we've now gotten onto a bus on our way to Machu Picchu.
It looks like that guy taking a shower.
Okay, we've made it to the Sanctuary Lodge at the top of the entrance to Machu Picchu.
Here. Welcome to Machu Picchu. Okay. Look at, we can see in that direction Machu Picchu mountain. Look at this mountain was called by Peruvian specialists Machu Picchu. Machu means OLD, old mountain. In this case, look at this mountain. This mountain was called Huayna Picchu. Huayna means young Picchu mountain. You know, this mountain appear in the full curve of objects of Machu Picchu, some elements of Machu Picchu. For example, bracelet, gold bracelet. This bracelet was discovered in Machu Picchu exactly in 1995 by Peruvian specialists. Okay, we can see also the same river in Secret Valley.
Yes.
This river was called by some people Urupan, but we cannot tell with them. But the real.
Oh, wait a minute, over there, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, over there.
Later, much better. We cannot see every but later, much better. We're gonna see from
That way,
part
going
of
that
the
way. Okay.
Oh.
Look at the steps. We can see the steps.
There's a line.
Okay, we have to follow
Oh, there's a
for
line.
5 minutes the steps up. Okay, from the upper part of Machu Picchu, we're gonna see the full view of Machu Picchu. Okay, I'm going to catch you up in 2 minutes. Take it slow. Okay, some people is missing. Yes, I am very fast. Okay, so take it slow. Meeting point up there. Okay, from the upper part.
Is this beautiful?
Majestic.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And
Okay, which way?
well, it
Any
depends when you
mosquitoes
go.
or
There
anything?
was no bug. There wasn't a bug.
No.
A few mosquitoes you see. There was actually no problem.
Yeah.
Not a bug.
You film it?
So this is the time of year to go.
Yeah. This is enough.
Later it gets not as many flowers. A lot of flowers still. Little ones.
There's the trail.
It's the Sun Gate.
Hike it up Did you already came with the bus from the bay?
No. This is the end of our
Okay,
trip.
okay.
So we started walking in Chicago.
I have to take a picture of Ron. I can hear you saying it, Ron. Ron, where did we start? We started walking Chicago and we ended up here.
But some people said black is the best one. I don't know. Blue is okay for me. Well, look at, we can see all the Inca city of Machu Picchu. Have you seen quipus? Look at, I have some copies, some pictures. For example, look at this one. I have in this copy, you know, the writing was brought by Spaniards. They brought the writing from Spain to South America. They arrived to South America, they arrived to Peru exactly in 1532. They brought the writing. So later they wrote our history. Inca people didn't know the writing. Okay, so the only theories, only hypotheses about the history of the Inca people. For example, pay attention. No one knows the real name of this Inca city. I don't know the real name of this Inca city. You know, the Spaniards never arrived to Machu Picchu. They never discovered Machu Picchu. Okay, but you know, exactly in 1911, Hiram Bin arrived to Machu Picchu. The American explorer arrived to Machu Picchu exactly in 1911. But first, he met down there. We can see in that direction, Mandolpampa Valley. In Mandolpampa Valley, down there there was a house. In this house was living the Peruvian farmer Melchor Arteaga. Hiram Bin was looking for Melchor Arteaga. Hiram Bin met Melchor Arteaga exactly in 1911. Melchor Arteaga knew about the existence of this Inca city. So Hiram Bin asked to Melchor Arteaga about the name of this Inca city. I need to reproduce part of Hiram Bin's description. Okay, so for example, he said, excuse me, sir, do you know what the Inca ruin called? Melchor Arteaga said, sorry, I don't know. So what is the mountain of the Inca ruin called? What is this mountain called? I know, sir. This mountain is Machu Picchu. So Hiram Bin named this Inca city with mountain. No one knows the real name of this Inca city. I don't know the real name. There are a lot of hypotheses, many speculations about the name of this Inca city. Hey guys, exactly 1906, Hiram Bin had his first expedition to South America. The most important objective of Hiram Bin's trip was to buy books for the University of USA. The books were about the liberty campaigns of Don Simón Bolívar and Don José de San Martín, military leaders, who fought for the freedom of many South American countries. In his second trip to Chile, Hiram Bin stopped in Peruvian Andean city of Cusco. The real name of the capital of the Inca state was Cusco. You know, later the Spanish called the capital of the Inca state to Cusco name. I think Cusco because some easier than Cusco. You know, Quechua language, so Cusco was the real name. Cusco means, pay attention, Cusco means center of the rock, nucleus of the rock, the middle part of the rock. And the Inca language was called by Inca people Tahuantinsuyo, of course, in Quechua language. Tahuantinsuyo means the land of 4 quarters. The middle point was Cusco. So when Hiram Bin was in Cusco, you know, local authorities took him to visit important Inca ruins of Cusco. You know, for example, Sacsayhuamán, Quen, Tucapcara, and Tambomache. Remember, Quechua language from Sacsayhuamán, Quen, Tucapcara, and Tambomache. Okay? Exactly in 1911, Hiram Bin arrived to Lima. Hiram Bin in Lima contacted important people. Exactly in his third trip. Okay? Hiram Bin in Lima contacted important people, for example, the President of Peru, Mr. Augusto Beleguía. Mr. Augusto Beleguía put him in contact with local chroniclers and specialists, as Dr. Max Uhle, who provided to Hiram Bin with all kind of information of Vilcabamba area. So Hiram Bin, with all necessary information, you know, accompanied by a group of people and his team, left Lima. They left Lima. They arrived to Cusco. You know, second time for Hiram Bin in Cusco. Hiram Bin in Cusco contacted important people. For example, the Dean of the University Experimentation. And the famous Temple of the Moon, let's use our imagination, is located in the halfway down to the other side of Huayna Picchu Mountain. Can you see the last house with vertical roof? Yes. Look at behind this house, you know, is the beginning point, the starting point of the sacred path of west to the summit of this mountain. 1 hour trek up, 1 hour to come back. 2 hours up and down. 2 hours round trip. Okay, just 400 people per day climb to the summit of this mountain. I don't recommend to you this mountain because sometimes the path is like that, very steep and very narrow. We can see
don't worry.
You see zigzag? Look at like that, zigzag. Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, this, we cannot see clearly.
I say that's
It was called by Peruvian specialists Picchu Picchu. Picchu means baby, Picchu mountain. Suddenly, we can see clearly now the tip top of Machu Picchu. Picchu means all mountain. Machu Picchu is Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, old mountain.
Pucha, ahorita no tengo sencillo. 50. Sorry. So this mountain, Machu Picchu mountain is approximately 9,000 feet above sea level. Okay. On the west of this Inca city, there is another mountain. Look at this one. This one was called Vizcachani or San Miguel Mountain. Vizcacha. Have you seen chinchillas? Look like a rabbit, the same family of rabbits. Yes. Chinchilla Mountain. This mountain is approximately 2,800 meters above sea level. Now look at the rock of Machu Picchu. Few more minutes, please. We can see Machu Picchu is characterized by rocky mountains. Look at the mountains, okay? Yeah. Because Machu Picchu consists of one great mass of rock. Let's use our imagination. Great mass of rock. This great mass of rock is composed of this kind of rock. This kind of rock is the famous granite. So all the rock of Machu Picchu comes from here. Inca Mason discovered all the rock in situ. They didn't brought the rock from other stone quarry. The stone quarry is right here. Really, we're gonna visit the stone quarry of Machu Picchu, but we can see some natural rock. Look at this one, another natural rock. So they cut the rock, they carve the rock, they carve the rock. So all the rock of Machu Picchu comes from here. Well,
Here at the entrance, there's a ring at the top of the entrance, and you'll see two notches on each side of the entrance. And that's where a wooden door would be at, and they could brace it and lock the door from opening. These are the Inca steps.
They live together.
Together. But in this small section, where people get the person.
When you hear about the Incas,
As we can see again, some ringstones, some
Yeah.
neon stones for the roof. One special thing.
Temple of the Sun, two windows, one facing this way and one facing the Temple of the Sun.
Exactly at 7:15. So June 21st was a very important day for the life of the Andean people. June 21st was the first day of the new Andean year. June 21st was also the beginning of the Andean calendar. And June 21st was the exact day of the Party of the Sun, Festival of the Sun, Inti Raymi in Quechua language. So June 21st, very important day for the life of the Andean people. So the first window on the Temple of the Sun.
it worked for him financially, so he was happy.
Oh, that is a good idea.
The top of the house was repaired. We can see the difference between the top. Look at the lower part is completely different from the other half. Okay, this house was rituals. We can see again some niches. Natural rock. This huge natural rock. We can see again on the other part of this rock the Temple of the Sun. We can see again the first window. Look at winter solstice on the other side. The second window, summer solstice. We can see also some gables from fundamental concept.
This is the winter.
Okay. In this case, look at this temple. You know, it was the first place that Hiram Mina had the opportunity to observe. temples, of course, before the buildings look like
rock
stone quarry of
quarry.
Machu Picchu. We can see a lot of natural rock. So all the rock of Machu Picchu comes from here. Really. Now look at this. This one is the famous chirimoya. In USA, castle apple. This one.
What's it called?
Peruvian castle apple, but the chirimoya is the real name. Look like avocado, okay? I recommend to you chirimoya. Ask at the restaurant, in your restaurant, avocado, green, but it needs to taste white with black seeds.
Does it taste like avocado?
No, avocado is no. We can see on the upper part of this temple some gable stones. You know, Inca people used the gable stone to tie their roof. So this temple was created to have roof, but they never built the roof of this temple. It was abandoned before being finished. In its interior, we can see 3 thick stones for rituals. And this wall was colored by Peruvian specialists in the imperial style. Look at another evidence. You know, this one is the famous temple of the 3 windows. Right in the middle of the temple, we can see this column, this rock. Look at the upper part of this column. This column to support a great beam, like that. Look at it, like that. Great beam from this wall to the other one, part of the roof. So this temple was abandoned also before being finished. The windows of this temple have astronomical relationship with the sunrise of the winters of this, you know, causing creation of shade and like with a mathematical coincidence to the creation of the famous temple of the sun. Okay, I think this one is the most important evidence of the famous temple of the 3 windows. Look at this rock. Look at this rock. Look at this rock. This rock. Sorry, but this rock was abandoned also. This rock is not in the real position. I think they have to move this rock to the middle part of this plaza. This rock was called by Inca people Chacana. You know, Chacana means Southern Cross constellation. This rock is a representation of the Southern Cross constellation. But look at the shadow of the rock. When the sun lets you saw illumination, but I think we need some focusing. Look at the depression of the shade of the rock. Okay? When the sun appears on this, you know the shadow essentially of the rock. Okay? So with the shadow, all the representation of the Southern Cross constellation. You know, this rock represents the sacred trilogy. But the last information of the rock, right in the middle of the famous Chacana, there is a small hole. Look at this small hole. Remember, this rock was abandoned also. The small hole of the rock was called by Inca people Cusco. Do you remember what is the real name of the capital of the Inca state? Cusco. What does Cusco mean? Center of the rock, nucleus of the rock, middle part of the rock. And do you remember the Inca land was called by Inca people Tawan?
Rock there, yeah. I just realized.
Hey guys, we can see in that direction. Can you see the water pipe?
Yeah.
Look at the yellow water pipe. Do you remember you saw before I was Corrientes village in that direction? Before I was Corrientes village, you saw only the dam of the hydroelectric station power. There is a water pipe from the dam to the hydroelectric station power. In that case, in this mountain there is a waterfall for electricity power. Okay? We can hear clearly the sound of the waterfall. So in that direction, the hydroelectric station power, in that direction you saw, in that direction opposite of this, you saw the dam, just the dam. So you can see also the river, the famous river for the Cusco. Condor was living, you know, the first man.
Okay, let's continue, please. Let's continue.
Let's continue.
What else?
Present.
Machu Picchu, that's that. That's this one. And then there's a river, there's a crevice in between for the river.
Small group, I think is much better. Well, look at this rock, please. Look at this rock. You know, when Hiram being arrived to Machu Picchu, baptized to this rock with the famous name of Intihuatana. Intihuatana is in Quechua language. Remember, please, my first language is Quechua. I speak Quechua language. Later, at the school, I learned Spanish language. The long Inca is by English. According to the function, it is the famous sacred solar astronomical compass of Machu. But you know, other people said this one is the famous kitchen post of the sun, and other people sundial. I think Intihuatana is much better. Intihuatana literally means where the sun is. Intihuatana, you know, this one is the famous sacred solar astronomical compass for the following reasons. For example, it is sacred because Inca people made some rituals. Look at on the altar table of the rock. Some rituals for the Father Sun. So they made in this rock, on this rock, some ceremonies, some ritual for the Father Sun. So it was used by Inca people. And it is solar because Así para abajo. Look at the shadow. The most important days of the year. And this one is this one is astronomical because they determine this rock. Inca astronomers determine this rock the special days of the year. For example, they determine the famous winter solstice that is in June 24th. Summer solstice, observing the pressure the shadow in relationship to the corners. When the sun appears to the corners. Okay? For example, the pressure in the shadow when the sun appears from that direction, the corners. Exactly with this corner, with this flat stone. Hey guys, and they determine winter solstice, summer solstice. They determine also in this rock equinoxes and the zenith of the sun. Zenith of the sun when the sun respect to this point is right in the middle of the sky. So there are no shadow, no shade around the central stony place of this rock. And this one is compassed, this rock is compassed, look at because the corners covering the whole rock, especially in the central stony place, are guided exactly to the four cardinal points. For example, look at, we can check clearly, we can check this one, this angle, this corner is facing exactly to the south with Machu Picchu Mountain. The opposite one is facing exactly to the north with Huayna Picchu Mountain. In this case, look at this one is facing exactly to the west of this Inca City with this mountain, this Cachani San Miguel Mountain. And the last one is facing exactly to the east with the famous mountain of San Gabriel. So
That the commoners really going on didn't live here, but you're telling us
I think it's not fair because we saw some evidence, some thousands of common people. We can see also the farming stations. So in this place live some farmers. I think Machu Picchu was polytheistic. They have several gods, like the mountains. So they make some rituals on the upper tip of this rock called Yananti Mountain. Yananti Mountain look like Machu Picchu. Complements. Machu Picchu means all mountain, young mountain, the small peak. We saw the small peak.
How far do we go up?
All the way to the
All
top?
the way to the top?
Oh yeah?
No, you come back from the path to the top of the big one.
It does go to the top.
Yeah, to the top. Keep top.
They say it's a spectacular
Oh, I know
view.
that, but
Yeah,
there's
it's
but
very,
there's a.
very difficult for very steep.
I know.
Like that.
I know.
The view from the top.
But
is
isn't
nice.
there's one place to go first, and then you can keep. Isn't there a
Yeah,
midpoint?
5 minutes before the top. 5 minutes. Got it? 5 minutes before the top.
Well, they're long. Are those the steps that we're seeing?
Yeah,
Those
some
the steps?
We're not going.
So they're kind of long. They're wide.
That's a good name. They whacked it.
Representation of the mother. I think they made around the rock some rituals for the mother.
And it was what shape was it? It was just...
Yeah, I can show you again.
It was like that.
Looks like natural rock, but the water representation.
There's the three windows, the temple with three windows. This is the temple of the Condor.
This very
This is the
round
body.
shape is the head,
And then you
eyes,
have the wings.
feet, body. This white stone symbolizes the white color from the Azul Condor. And those two huge rocks.
Very narrow passage.
No, if it was long, so it would be long.
We're also going to get our passports stamped to the Machu Picchu stamp.
Should be around the paper. It's square.
I think that's it.
No, is that it? Peru.
Yep, that's yours. You don't have right on that page.
Gracias.